This $75 garden hose heats and cools an entire house forever. Without gas, without solar panels. No utility bill ever. Why aren't we using it? The HVAC industry hoped you would never find out. Look at this coil. Just a black poly hose buried 6 feet down in a simple backyard trench. A tiny pump, the size of your fist, pushes water through it, using barely any power at all. And out of that vent, in a 94-degree afternoon, cold air pours into the living room. No compressor, no refrigerant, no $12,000 install. Just pure physics, simple but powerful, working silently. Physics that farmers understood for thousands of years, and that the modern industry quietly buried on purpose. By the end of this video, you will know how to build one this weekend for $75. But first, we need to talk about the trap most of you are already living in every single day. Think about your last summer electric bill. $400, maybe $500, maybe honestly even worse. You set the thermostat to 72, the compressor kicks on outside and your meter spins like a slot machine. That is not comfort. That is a subscription to the utility company that literally never ever ends. And it gets worse. The average central air conditioner fails in only about 8 years. Just 8. A technician shows up, charges $180 just to open the panel, and then quotes disaster. $8,000 to $12,000 for a new system installed. Heat pumps? Even worse. $15,000 to $18,000. Every unit relies on a fragile chain. Compressor, refrigerant, circuit board, fan motor. One link fails, everything dies. Millions of homeowners are trapped in this cycle. Buy the box, pay the bill, wait for failure, repeat. It is engineered dependency, and the industry loves it, because every failure is another sale, every summer another invoice.
Every service call, $180 for someone who never designed your problem but absolutely profits from it. But 6 feet below your lawn, a free solution has been waiting the entire time. Nobody talks about it. 6 feet down, the ground stays at roughly 55 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, winter or summer. Blizzard, heatwave, it does not matter. 55 degrees, constant, free. Right under every backyard in America. Farmers figured this out thousands of years ago. They dug root cellars to store butter, meat and vegetables underground. They knew the earth itself was a battery of stable temperature. A free reservoir hiding just beneath the surface. In Persia, they built yakhchals, underground ice houses that kept ice frozen through the summer desert without electricity. In Europe, wine caves. In America, sod houses of the plains stayed cool in July, warm in January. In the 1970s, when energy prices exploded, DIY manuals showed homeowners how to tap this free reservoir. Coil a pipe, bury it, circulate water. Done. Simple but powerful, built from scrap materials for pennies. Homes across the Midwest quietly ran on ground loops, spending pennies on cooling while neighbors sweated through blackouts. Then something strange happened. Those DIY manuals vanished. The trick got renamed, patented, and repackaged as geothermal. Suddenly, a $50,000 install only certified contractors could touch. The garden hose version quietly disappeared. Why? Because you cannot patent a garden hose. You cannot bill a service contract on something that never breaks. But wait until you see how simple the physics actually is.
This is where theory starts saving you money. Water moves 4 times more heat than air. 1 gallon does the work of 4 gallons of blown air. That gallon flows through a 200-foot coil of black hose buried deep in the cool underground soil. The soil sits at 55 degrees year-round. Warm water flows in, dumps its heat into the earth, exits cold. Loops back into your room, absorbs more heat, repeats forever. That is the entire machine. Just a loop. A small pump, a radiator with a fan. No refrigerant, no compressor, no high-pressure lines to seize or explode. Just a $20 pond pump moving 300 gallons an hour and a small fan blowing across it. Now, look at what is missing here. A normal heat pump has a $600 compressor inside. A refrigerant charge only a licensed tech can touch. Expansion valves, reversing valves, defrost boards, capacitors that break. The garden hose system? 0 of them. 0.
And here is the number that completely broke my brain. A conventional heat pump burns 60% of its electricity just squeezing gas inside the compressor. Pure overhead. The industry brags, 1 watt in, 3 watts of heat moved. Until you see the garden hose loop. A 40-watt pond pump, less than a light bulb, moves thousands of watts of heat into the earth. The efficiency ratio pushes past 15 to 1. 15! 4 times better than that $18,000 heat pump. No moving parts, no refrigerant to leak, no service contract. Just water, a pump, a hose in the dirt.
Now you understand why the HVAC lobby spent decades convincing you geothermal is complicated, dangerous, doable only by professionals. A homeowner digs a trench Saturday, cools his house forever on 40 watts. The entire industry loses its grip. The numbers get more absurd when you look at the money. Let me lay it out plain and simple. A 200-foot roll of black poly hose costs about $30 at any farm supply store. A small pond pump, $20 online. A used car radiator with a fan, $15 from a scrapyard. Hose clamps, fittings, a bag of sand, 10 more. $75 total. Your entire heating and cooling system. Now compare. A mid-range central air conditioner installed today costs $8,000. A ducted heat pump, $12,000. Professional geothermal with drilled wells and certified refrigerant runs $40,000 to $60,000. The garden hose does the same. Moving heat between your house and the ground for less than the cost of one nice restaurant dinner. Running cost? At 40 watts, running 24 hours daily, 12 cents per kilowatt hour, about $8 monthly. 8, not 800. 8. That is not a typo. Compare that to the $400 summer bill. Payback? Between $8 and $400 monthly, the $75 system pays for itself in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. After that, everything is free. No fuel, no refrigerant top-ups, no filters unless you want them. The hose itself? Black polyethylene irrigation pipe buried below frost line in damp soil lasts over 25 years. Some installations from the 1980s are still running today, untouched. The pump? $20 and 10 minutes. That is total maintenance for a quarter century. Now let me show you exactly how to build this system. Step 1. Pick a spot in your yard. About 40 feet of open ground works. Away from tree roots, away from the septic line. Mark it out with wooden stakes and bright orange string. This is where cooling begins. Step 2. Dig the trench. 6 feet deep, 40 feet long, about 2 feet wide. Depth is critical here. A rented mini excavator does this in 3 hours for $150, or a shovel and a weekend. You need to be below the frost line, deep in the zone of stable year-round soil temperature. Step 3. Uncoil 200 feet of 3/4-inch black poly pipe into the open trench carefully. Lay it in a long snake pattern or a flat spiral. More hose touching soil equals more cooling. Do not kink the pipe, just lay it in gently, like a lazy river winding through the ground. Here is the secret step almost every single DIY guide out there completely skips over. Pay attention now. Step 4. Backfill with damp sand or hose down the soil as you shovel it back into the trench. Wet sand pulls heat out of that pipe 4 times faster than dry dirt full of air pockets. This one detail can literally double your system efficiency. Pack it tight, every inch of hose kissing soil. Step 5. Run both ends of the loop up into your basement through a small hole in the wall. One end goes into a $20 pond pump feeding a used car radiator from a local scrapyard. Behind the radiator, mount a small 12-volt fan to push room air across the cold metal fins. Step 6. Fill the loop with plain water. Add food-grade antifreeze if you live somewhere that freezes. Prime the pump, plug it in. That is it. One weekend, $75 total, done and done. And wait until you see what happens the very second you flip that switch on. Watch closely now. I ran this exact rig in a small workshop last summer. Outside temperature, 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Direct sun, the kind of day where a regular AC unit is screaming and the electric meter burns. I turned on the pump and fan. Cost to run? About 40 watts. Less than my desk lamp. 40 minutes in, my thermometer at the vent reached 61 degrees. Powered by a $20 pump. Room temperature dropped from 88 to 68 in under an hour, and the electric meter barely twitched. I ran it daily all summer. End of month bill for that circuit, $8. Verified on the statement. Compare that to the $400 central air bill next door running a conventional 3-ton system. Here is the part that closes the loop. That same buried coil, in winter, does the exact opposite. 55-degree soil is warmer than a 20-degree winter day.
The loop pulls heat from the ground and gives it to your room through the same radiator. You do not have to change a single thing. Same hose, same pump, same fan. Free heating November through March, free cooling May through September. Both jobs forever. The promise from the title delivered. $75, never breaks, runs on a garden hose. Every claim verified.
So why isn't every home in America already doing this? The answer is uncomfortable, but it explains everything. Reason 1. Nothing to gatekeep. A real HVAC job requires an EPA refrigerant license, a moat that blocks competition. A hose in a trench needs no permit or inspector in most rural counties. Nothing to charge admission for. Reason 2. Nothing to service. The system does not break, and one that never breaks generates zero recurring revenue. The tune-ups, emergency calls, the 10-year replacement cycle, the whole industry runs on fragility. This design has none. Reason 3. Nothing to patent. You cannot trademark a hole in the ground. No logo, no connector, no lock-in. And utilities? Every one of these loops drops a customer from $400 a month to $8. Multiply that by 10 million homes, and an entire utility revenue stream simply evaporates in front of your eyes. This is not a smoky room conspiracy. It is simpler than that.
When a technology has no profit margin, it just stops being taught. In one single generation, everybody forgets, but you are not going to forget, because you just watched it work. And one small upgrade actually doubles the total output for about $30. In the next video, I show you the solar water wall, a passive thermal battery on your house. You bolt it onto the south side. It stores heat during the day and releases it at night. Paired with the ground loop, it turns a normal house into a self-regulating thermal machine that ignores outside weather. Zero fuel, zero bills, almost zero moving parts. If low-tech solutions like this interest you, subscribe right now. The next video breaks down the solar water wall step by step with a full materials list included. Share this with anyone building a home, remodeling, or just tired of paying way too much for electricity. This is knowledge that used to be common, and it is time we bring it back into every home. $75, a garden hose, a trench, and a house that heats and cools itself forever. The industry hoped you'd never see it. Now you have. Share with